Pros and cons in living in Denver, Colorado. Are you looking for some inside information on the good, the bad, and the ugly? Are you thinking of moving to Denver or maybe being relocated to Denver and you want to know the honest truth about what it's like to live here? Well, I won't hold anything back, so let's get started right now. Hey everyone, my name is Venus, your favorite Denver area realtor with the Vindiola Group brokered by eXp Realty. And while it's important where you live, it's even more important where you do life. If this is your first time to my channel and you want to know all about where to do life in Denver, Colorado, then make sure you tap that subscribe button and hit that bell so that you're notified every time we do a new video. You can also reach me at the number below for all your real estate needs. We get calls, texts, and emails all the time from our viewers looking to move here or relocate within the area, so please don't hesitate to reach out however you choose. We're here for you, for all of your real estate needs. Number 1, real estate, the elephant in the room. As a local realtor in the trenches all day long, I do see our lack of inventory and multiple offers and the concern over selling your home in a pandemic slightly concerning right now. Just prior to second quarter of 2020, Denver was listed as number 13 as the highest median home price nationally. Not really the best title to carry, but keep in mind that is just Denver, the actual city of Denver. There are misconceptions about moving to Denver. There are beautiful subdivisions and affordable options all within a little drive to the heart of Denver. With high demand and lack of inventory being a large issue, home prices have been inching up. This national shortage is not just a news tactic to scare people, it's real. They've been talking about low inventory for years, but I haven't seen anything like what we are in currently right now. We currently have a month of inventory, which means if we don't put any other homes on the market, we sell out in a month. I do expect to see more homes starting to enter the market real soon. I spoke with my stager the other day and she said she's getting busier than she has been in months. So that's great news. The economists are predicting that the second half of 2021, we will see all of the would-be sellers enter the market and see much higher selection of homes. And truly, if you need to move now, the best way to prepare for any move is proper planning. Set goals and have a good team on your side with good education, local knowledge, and truly being very strategic with your end goal in mind. It's not that you won't find a house, it's just that you'll need to navigate these waters and have great conversations with your trusted partners and have a true good strategic plan to make it a smooth transition for you. It happens all the time, so don't let the news scare you away. Okay, so number 2, you've moved here. Now you have to deal with population and traffic. Denver is a major metropolitan city. In my opinion, they did not plan for the nearly 500,000 people that have moved here in the last decade. Department of Transportation is always hard at work. Believe me, that means it's always construction season. Everywhere you go, construction. We still have 2-lane highways that funnel into 5-lane highways. I-70 is always backed up. Sometimes you think you're out for a nice lazy Saturday drive in the afternoon, and then you hit I-25 and it's stopped. Rush hour sometimes can be 3 hours. We are pretty spread out, so if you're living in a suburban city where I live, which is 30 minutes away from everywhere, everybody says, well, how long is it going to take you to get there? And I say 30 minutes, because literally that's where it is where I am at. We also have train problems where I live. Sometimes they'll be stopped for an hour. Not even kidding. You'll be stopped at this train for an hour. With that said, Denver's growth obviously has been great for our economy. Again, before heading into the pandemic, Denver was listed as number 1 in economy and number 2 as best place to live. Not like some of those other congested cities like New York or LA for sure. We have some super small streets too, like Federal Boulevard. I'm a pretty good driver, but they sure as heck didn't plan on larger cars like mine when they're going down the street. Sometimes I'm even white-knuckling because there really is no room for error. I also use an app on my phone called Waze. I'm sure you've probably heard of it. It helps you plan ahead for traffic. I have ignored it one too many times when it tells me to go a different way from when I normally go, and I've become a very good student now because I am listening to it more often than not. But it's not always bad, but it's definitely something to be aware of and know that it exists. Oh, speaking of on the road rage, we have it. I mean, it's not too bad, but there are days where it's surprising how angry people get, and then there are days when you feel like you're in some alternate universe where everyone is letting you over and kindness is spreading. I do like those days much better. Along with that, we don't have the best public transit systems. We have the bus, but sometimes it takes some serious planning. If you need to get from point A to B, you might have to hop on and off 3 different buses. We have the light rail now, which I haven't taken, so I can't speak of too much on that, but it's a great addition to our city. The city is making sure we have so many options, and I appreciate that, but we're really a driving city for the most part, so prepare for that. Number 3, altitude and dry air. We are not called the Mile High City because we were the first to have legalized marijuana, which I could have addressed as a con, but some people feel that it's a pro, so I feel like it's so much overly addressed and that subject is old news. I will say this for those of you that don't know, yes, you smell it, no, it's not in your face, yes, you can buy it just about everywhere, no, people aren't walking down the street getting high, some people take it, some people leave it, I leave it, so that's where I'm going to leave it right there. So, back to altitude and air. We're a mile high above sea level, which is where the statement really came from. It takes some getting used to. If I go on a nice beachy vacation, tropical, lovely, I'm dreaming a little bit, my skin soaks that up. I can tell the difference almost immediately. Here you're dry. You need lotion, especially in the winter. Then you toss in that altitude. Even in the city, you're at a mile high and you're supposed to bake cakes with extra flour, which I don't do. Probably why I sell houses and I'm not a baker. But if you take a trip to the mountains, be aware of altitude sickness symptoms. It can be a real thing. People can get really ill. So once you're here for a while, you'll adjust, but it takes some time. If you're an avid exerciser or even wonder why it's hard for you to run or exercise the way you're used to, it will take some time. I truly don't think this is a huge con in itself, so that's why I lumped it with the dry air. Two minor cons at the same time. All right, number 4. This is a big one, homeless population. While this doesn't directly affect you as a human being, these people will not hurt you and they will not bother you. But if you're a true human being, sometimes it really just affects your soul. It's hard to see. It seems as if more and more campsites are popping up, for lack of better terms, and there is trash everywhere. Off the turnpikes, multiple areas downtown, but it has now expanded from downtown, down by the river, and closer to suburban areas. Nearly every highway, there's someone with a sign asking for money. You can't do much as a whole, but in little parts you sure can. We're right now doing a diaper drive. We do sock drives. You can get involved if you choose to, but in all honesty, other than what it does to your emotions, we are no different than any other larger metropolitan city that has the unfortunate few that results in doing whatever they can to survive. This is probably one of the worst things because there is not much that one person can do, like I said before. So, with that said, my last one is a hybrid of a pro and a con. While we move into the pros, our weather. So this is number 5 of a con, and number 1 is a pro. They say that Colorado has 300 days of sunshine. Well, that's true, although I've never actually really counted on the calendar to see if they're lying to us, but I feel like that's fairly accurate. However, it can be deceiving. It can be 10 below zero and sunny outside, or it can be 100 degrees and sunny outside. We also have the most unpredictable weather ever. It can be 80 degrees in the morning and a blizzard in the afternoon. Not kidding. Or it could be the same with a beautiful spring morning and then an awful hailstorm and a tornado warning in the afternoon. Okay, we don't really get a whole lot of tornadoes in the Denver metro area, but in my lifetime there's been 2 that have made the news. But we do get a lot of warnings and a lot of hail. But the pros of that, we have all 4 seasons. We have beautiful seasons. We have the wildly amazing summers, the springs that make you feel so alive, the coldest blue winter nights, and those crisp fall days, the crunchy leaves all over the ground. It makes me feel like a kid. I really do love jumping around on those leaves. As long as you plan ahead, keep a jacket and umbrella in your car for those unpredictable days, watch the forecast, enjoy those 4 seasons as best as you can. We really do have all of the best of the 4 worlds, and lately our winters have been very mild. So, pro number 2. We are probably the most active state. In fact, 6 out of 10 of the healthiest counties according to US News. You can do something in every season. You can hike, you can bike, you can swim, you can go snowboarding, snowshoeing, snow skiing. You can vacation in your own backyard. You can go to the beach. Yep, I said the beach. We have some great sandy reservoirs with great beaches where you can canoe and kayak and get on a paddleboard for the day. Definitely trying that this summer. You can take a day trip to the mountains. You can gamble at Black Hawk if that's your thing. We have some amazing history and museums. You can go to Buffalo Bill's grave or go to Molly Brown's house. You can have high tea at the Brown Palace. We have zoos and museums. We have aquariums, and we have the best concert venues. You have not experienced a concert unless you have gone to Red Rocks. And I personally really enjoy Fiddler's Green. Not quite sure if that's what it's called anymore, but us locals, that's what we still call it. And oh my gosh, our newly renovated Union Station, that has been turned into a hotel with multiple bars and restaurants. It's so cool. We have these amazing open concept venues that are fun to stroll around. We have amusement parks, city parks, dog parks. You can go throw an axe or go tubing down a river. You can dress up and go to the theater or dress down and spend the day volunteering at one of our many organizations. Truly, there is always something to do, and Coloradans love to be active. Sports teams, we have them all, and we have amazing facilities to enjoy these games at. We have the Rockies and the Nuggets and the Avs and the Broncos, and sure, most of the time they aren't doing that great, but there's always an opportunity for sports fans to see a game. We also have Denver University. Those have some great games. Our two biggest colleges. We have CU and CSU, and it's real fun when they go ahead. We have UNC if you want to drive up to Greeley. There's enough screaming and yelling for everyone to go around. So, pro number 4, last but definitely not least. Colorado is known for its breweries. There are over 400 established breweries in Colorado. You can find the big popular ones like Breckenridge, Great Divide, Blue Moon, but some of the little gems are the best. My husband and business partner, we love to go and try the flights. You get all these little beer cups of different flight samplers. I was not a fan of beer until I started sampling, and now I know I love a good Russian Imperial Stout, especially if it was aged in a bourbon barrel. This summer we plan on taking you on a video tour of some of our favorites, so please stay tuned for that as well. A couple of our favorites are Epic Brewing, Strange Craft, and River North Brewing downtown. Up north, you gotta step into Mother Tucker once or twice. Flood Stage in Brighton, that place is really cool. There are so many, but those are a few that pop into my mind right now. If you don't love beer, we have wineries and distilleries as well. We have some really great places for you to visit. So, you'll run into traffic. You may have some dry skin. You'll have to adjust to the altitude. You'll run into attitude on the road, but you'll have great weather experiences. You'll get out there and enjoy the state, and maybe a game or two, and probably a beer. But again, first you have to reach out to us to find that perfect area. Maybe you're thinking about living or you want to go see somewhere. In order to do that, you have to give me a call, shoot us a text, or even send an email. However it is that you want to reach out to us when you're moving here or even relocating here, we want to be there for you. But until then, until our next video, see you then.